Welcome to English Story Journey. Today's story is not just a story. It is a truth many people quietly live with. We live in a world full of noise. Everywhere you look, someone seems better than you. Someone has more money. Someone looks more confident. Someone gets better marks. Someone lives a life that looks perfect from the outside. And slowly, without even realizing it, we start comparing. We compare our journey with someone else's highlights. We compare our pain with their smiles, our beginning with their success. And one day, we forget our own worth. This is the story of a boy who forgot that too. His name was Ethan. Ethan was 17. He was quiet, skinny, and average. Not the smartest in class. Not the most popular. Not the most confident. He tried, but somehow it never felt like enough. When Ethan looked around, everyone seemed ahead. Liam always topped the class. Ethan studied hard too, but Liam made success look effortless. Chris was confident, handsome, and always surrounded by friends. Mason had followers, parties, and attention. Ethan, he wore the same clothes every week, avoided eye contact, and had a cracked old phone. And then there was Sophia, the girl Ethan liked. But she liked boys like Liam and Chris, not boys like Ethan. Every night before sleeping, Ethan repeated the same sentence in his mind. I'm not enough. At first, it was just a thought. Slowly, it became a habit. Then it became his belief. He stopped raising his hand in class because someone else always sounded smarter. He stopped giving his best because he felt it wouldn't change anything. He stopped caring for himself because he believed he would never measure up. Hours were spent scrolling through social media, watching people live the life he wished was his. He wasn't lazy, he wasn't broken. He was just tired. Tired of always feeling behind. His parents thought he was fine. He smiled, answered their questions, said, I'm okay, but inside he felt invisible. Sometimes a painful thought crossed his mind. If I disappeared, would anyone even notice? Because when you compare yourself to everyone, you slowly start believing your life doesn't matter. One night, lying in the dark, Ethan whispered, why am I even here? Why can't I be like them? He wasn't angry. He wasn't loud. He was empty. That night, overwhelmed, Ethan left his house without telling anyone. He walked through quiet streets until he reached an old, broken bus stop. The place was silent. A cracked mirror hung on the wall, dusty and forgotten. He stood in front of it and looked into his own eyes. He sat there quietly, letting the tears flow, until an old man appeared, holding a small lantern. He looked at Ethan gently and asked, Are you okay? Ethan wiped his face and replied with the same lie he always told, Yeah, I'm fine. The old man smiled softly. That mirror you're looking into is broken. Whatever you see in it isn't the truth. Maybe you're seeing yourself through the wrong glass. You were never meant to live someone else's story. You were meant to write your own. Then he walked away, leaving Ethan alone with those words. That night, Ethan couldn't sleep. The words stayed in his mind. Maybe he had been judging himself using broken mirrors, social media, comparisons, expectations. Maybe he wasn't late. Maybe he was just early in his own story. The next morning felt different. Not happy, not confident, just calm. On the way to school, Ethan made a small decision. Just for one day, he wouldn't compare himself to anyone. In class, the teacher asked a question. Ethan knew the answer. His hand trembled, but he raised it. His voice wasn't perfect, but it was honest. The teacher smiled and said, Good thinking. Those two words stayed with him all day. Ethan opened a notebook that evening. He realized he had been comparing results while ignoring effort. He had been angry at himself for not being somewhere he had never truly worked toward. He made a simple promise. I will stop asking why I'm not like them. I will start asking how I can be better than yesterday. Months passed. Ethan didn't become famous. He didn't top the class. But something important changed. He stopped hating himself. He stopped watching others like a fan. He started building quietly. He woke up earlier, studied better, and took care of himself. Every time he felt jealous, he asked what he could learn instead of what he lacked. When the school announced a talent competition, Ethan signed up. Years ago, he used to write songs but never shared them. This time, he didn't want to win. He just wanted to show up. On stage, his hands shook. His voice cracked. Some people whispered, but he kept going. When he finished, the room was silent. Then applause. Not because he was perfect, but because he was real. He didn't win. Liam did. And Ethan smiled because he finally understood. Someone else's success does not make you a failure. Thanks for watching.